Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to your first maths lesson of another brand new unit for Thursday, the 25th of February. I am so excited to be seeing you all in about a week and a half now, and we will be carrying on with this unit when we are back in school. So we're going to be starting on multiplication this week, using the formal method a little bit later on in the week, and hopefully everything that I teach from now up until when we return and we see you on the 8th of March will get us in good stead to hit the ground running when we come back. So today we're going to start with learning to multiply one-digit numbers by multiples of 10 using place value, and we're going to focus on the 6, 7 and 9 times table because we've already looked at those when we built our tables earlier in the year. Okay, let's get started then. So multiplication chart. This is the multiplication chart that we've used to work out some of our multiplications. How could we use this chart to work out the following questions? 6 times 7, 7 times 3, 6 times 11, 9 times 7, or 12 times 9. If you want to pause the video and have a go here using the grid, you're more than welcome. And I'll go through the answers anyway. Okay, so the 6 times 7, I can use the 6 along the top, and I can take one of my counters and I need to go down and I'm looking at where it coincides with the 7 on the left hand side. So 6 times 7 is showing me the answer there is 42. I could also have done that using the same colour but going from 7 at the top and 6 down the other side here, still giving me the answer of 42. Okay, 7 times 3, I'm going to use a different colour. I can go to the 7 along the top and down or along 3 to the side, give me the answer of 21, or I could do 3 along the top all the way down, 7 still gives me that answer of 21. 6 times 11, using a different colour again, I can go to 6 along the top and go down until I reach the 11, 66, or I could do 11 along the top and go down 6, still giving me the answer of 66. 9 times 7, I can use the blue this time, starting with the 9 along the top and going down to where it meets the 7 along the side here, so 63, or I could do 7 along the top and going down until I reach the 9. And again, the answer is the same, 63. Obviously, we're seeing here that you can do it either way using that grid, which is really useful. And the last one then 12 times 9 or 9 times 12. So I can start with 12 along the top and go down to where it meets the 9, 108. Or I can do 9 along the top and going down to where it meets 12, which is 108. Hopefully, let me just move that over a bit. Hopefully you're all happy with those and you can see how we've worked them out by going down and across to work out our answers. Simple enough, and we're able to use our knowledge of the times tables anyway, or the grid if we need to. But could we now use the same answers and the same multiplication chart to answer these questions? So I've now got 60 times 7. 7 times 30, 60 times 11, or 9 times 70, and I've left some of the dots on there for us. How are these numbers different? Hopefully you've realised that instead of 6 times 7 that we originally had with our 42, it's now 60 times 7. So what actually happened to this number here? Hopefully you're telling me it's 10 times bigger. So what could we do with our answer? If our answer was 42, what can we do to that answer if our question is 10 times bigger? Hopefully we make our answer 10 times bigger. Now I'm not going to answer these here, I'm going to show you what that 10 times bigger means, because at the moment I've just typed in an extra 0 and that might not be overly helpful. So let's actually look at these questions using some of these counters. This 6 times 7 here on the left, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 along the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down the side. And the counters are represented in ones. Then on the right hand side here, I've got 60 times 7. And again, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 along the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down the side. But they are tens. They're not ones counts anymore, they're tens. So I've got 60 lots of 7. This calculation, therefore, is just 10 times bigger. So let's have a look at it in another way. That 6 times 7 is how it's being shown on the left, and the 60 times 7 is how it's being shown on the right. So this is exactly what I did a couple of screens ago. I had my answer as 42, which I knew the answer from when I'd used the grid. This 70 then is just 10 times larger. And when you multiply a number by 10, it gets 10 times larger, so all the digits move one column to the left. So you can see my digit 4 here was in the tens column, and I've drawn an arrow and popped it in the hundreds column. My digit 2 was in the ones column, I've put an arrow in, and the 2 is now in the tens column. And it then says we just add a 0 into the ones column as a placeholder. So my 6 times 70 is now 420, which is 10 times larger. Make sense so far? Hopefully it does. Okay, let's have a look at this one then. So originally we had 7 times 3, which was 21. Now the question was 70 times 3. So I've popped my answer 21 into the tens and ones. And then I've popped my arrows to show that when I multiply a number by 10, it gets 10 times larger, so it moves one digit to the left. My 2 has now gone into the hundreds, my 1 has now gone into the tens, and I've added that space saver or the placeholder 0. And then Coco down here is saying, when I multiply by 70, it's the same as multiplying by 7 and then by 10. Okay, let's actually do one this time then. So using the same method, how could we work out this one, 60 times 11? So first of all, let's work out what 6 times 11 would be. What is 6 times 11? You can use the grid if you needed to. Lovely, hopefully you're all shouting at your screens telling me that 6 times 11 is 66. So therefore, I then need to multiply that number by 10. So I'm going to start off with putting my 66 into my columns. Everyone happy that 6 tens and there are 6 ones. And I've got my arrows there to help me. So I now need to multiply that number by 10. So when you multiply a number, it gets 10 times larger and it moves one digit to the left. So this 6 in my tens is going to go into my hundreds column. This 6 in the ones is going to go into the tens column. What do I put in the ones column? And hopefully you're telling me it's a space saver 0 because we've moved them all and multiplied them by 10. So multiplying it by 10 would be 660. So therefore I can go straight back up to my answer. 60 times 11 would be 660. And then my Coco down here, when I multiply by 60, it is the same as multiplying by 6. And then by 10. Can you see that? Hopefully you can see the way we've worked that. Let's do another one. 9 times 70. So this time we need to first work out what 9 times 7 is. Again, you can use the grid, you can use your multiplication knowledge for when we've done the 9 and the 7 times table. You can use the finger trick if you want to and put down the 7th finger. And we know the answer is 63. So I now need to multiply it by 10. So I'm going to pop my 63 in the correct columns first of all. And then I need to multiply by 10. So I need to move the digits one column to the left. So the 6 in the tens is going to go into the hundreds. The 3 in the ones is going to go into the tens column. And then I'm adding that space holder 0. And then again, if I can fill in my Coco down here, when I multiply by 70, I'm going to write on it this time, 70. It is the same as multiplying by 7, which is what we did first of all, and then by 10. Everyone happy so far? Okay, your turn then. So please answer these calculations and have a go here. Remember that when you multiply a number by 10, it gets 10 times larger. So the digits move one column to the left. And you can use Coco's phrase there to help when I multiply by something t, it's the same as multiplying by something and then by 10. So I'm going to ask you to pause the video here and have a go at these, and then we'll go through them in a moment. Good luck. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to give myself a bit more room to do my working out. And my first question, I have 7 times 40. So first of all, I need to work out what, and I'm going to do that in my black pen, 7 times 4 is. And again, you can use that multiplication grid if you want to, or you can just use your knowledge of the 7 times table or even the 4 times table. So 7, 14, 21, 28. Oh, that's a funny looking 2 there. And then I need to multiply that answer by 10. So it's going to go one space to the left because I'm multiplying it by 10. So my answer would be 280. So I can pop 280 in there. And if you got that answer, huge well done, give yourself a tick. Okay, next question then. 9 times 40. So again, we're going to start with working out what 9 times 4 is. And you can either use your knowledge of your 9 times table or your 4 times table, again, using your fingers if it helps. So I know that 9 times 4 is 36. And if I need to times that by 10, because it's now by 40, I'm moving everything one space to the left. So my 3 in my tens is going to make 3 in my hundreds. My 6 in my ones will make 6 in my tens. And then I add that space saver 0 in. So the answer is 360. And if you got that answer, please give yourself a tick. Okay, next one, 60 times 7. So we're going to start by working out 6 times 7. And again, you can still use the multiplication chart if you need to. You can use your related facts, your 6 times table, your 7s, whichever you find easiest. So I know that 6, 6 is a 36. I remember that one quite well. Add one more lot on, it's going to give me 42. And then I need to multiply my answer by 10 because it's now 60. So again, I'm going to move everything one space to the left. So 4 in my tens goes to 4 in my hundreds, 2 in my ones goes to 2 in my tens, and I add a space saver 0 in. So the answer is 420. And if you've got that answer, please give yourself a tick. Okay, just going to move it down very slightly for the last calculation then. So 9 or something is equal to 90 times 5. Again, we know it doesn't matter what way around the calculations happen. And we're going to start then with working out what 9 times 5 is first of all. And lots of us find it easy to work out our 5 times table, counting up in our 5s, or we could do counting up in our 9s. So I know that 9 times 5 is 45. But then I need to multiply that answer by 10 because it's asking what 90 times 5 is. So again, I'm going to move everything over to the left. So the 4 in the tens goes to 4 in the hundreds. The 5 in the ones goes to the 5 in the tens, and I add my space saver 0. So the answer is 450. And if you also got that one right, please give yourself another tick. Hopefully you're not finding these too tricky and you're seeing the method that we're using to work them out. If you do need to pause the video and rewind it and watch those again, that's absolutely fine. If not, let's go and see what Emmett has done today. Okay, Emmett thinks that 7 times 70 is 770. Explain why he is incorrect. So again, if you want to pause the video here and have a go at that one yourself, you're more than welcome to. And I'll go through it with you in just a second. Okay, so we have the question 7 times 70. First of all, we need to work out what 7 times 7 is then. So using my multiplication, if you still have your draw it where you did your drawing of the times tables, you can use that. You can still use the multiplication chart, but I know that the answer is not going to be 77. So 7 times 7 I actually know is 49. And then because it is 7 times 70, I need to multiply that answer by 10. So my 4 is going to go from my tens into my hundreds column, my 9 from my ones into my tens column, and then I add my space saver 0 into it. So the actual answer is 490. Okay. Your turn for today then. You're going to have 5 do-it questions, very similar to the ones that we've done today. Remember to write down, first of all, what the question is asking you and then times it by 10. So the first one, you've got 6 times 40. It's going to be a lot simpler to work out 6 times 4 and then times the answer by 10. You then have a Colin problem. Colin's made a mistake on 9 times 90. And finally, your go deeper today is a missing digit question. See if you can solve the calculation in several ways and then see if you can do it using the numbers 0 to 9 only once. A huge good luck, off you go today, and just make sure you come back at the end for the learning pit. Okay, a huge well done with those. I can't wait to see some of those work coming in if that's your favourite for today. Just have a think about where you are on the learning pit today then. How did you find multiplying the 1-digit numbers by multiples of 10? Did you find it okay to do the timesing by 10 part? Did you find that your knowledge of the 6, 7 and 9 is a little bit wobbly and you had to use the multiplication chart? That's fine. But if you could pop that on your work before you send it, that would be brilliant. Again, this is the work that we will be carrying on when we are back in school on the 8th of March. So I look forward to seeing your work and then seeing it in class as well. Take care for now, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.